Diďre, haYamim Bête, chapter 31. And at the completion of all this, all Israel who were present went out to the cities of Yehudah, and broke down the pillars, and cut down the arim, and tore down the high places and the slaughter places, from all Yehudah and Binyamin, and in Ephraim and Manasseh, even to completion. Then all the children of Israel returned to their own cities, each to his possession. And Chizkiyahu appointed the divisions of the priests and of the Levites according to their divisions, each according to his service of the priests and Levites, for ascending offerings and peace offerings, to serve and to give thanks and to praise in the gates of the camp of Yahweh. And the sovereign portioned of his possessions for the ascending offerings, for the morning and evening ascending offerings, and the ascending offerings for the Sabbaths, and for the new moons, and for the appointed times, as it is written in the Torah of Yahweh. And he said to the people, those who dwelt in Jerusalem, to give the portion for the priests and the Levites, so that they are strengthened in the Torah of Yahweh. And as the word spread, the children of Israel brought large quantities of the first fruit, and grain, and wine, and oil, and honey, and of all the increase of the field. And they brought in the tithe of all, a large amount. And the children of Israel and Yehudah, those who dwelt in the cities of Yehudah, brought the tithe of cattle and sheep, even the tithe of set-apart gifts which were set apart to Yahweh their Elohim were brought in, and they gave heaps. In the third new moon they began to pile up the heaps, and they finished in the seventh new moon. And Chizkiyahu and the leaders came and saw the heaps, and they blessed Yahweh and his people Israel. And Chizkiyahu asked the priests and the Levites about the heaps. And Azariahu the chief priest, from the house of Tzadok, answered him and said, since they began to bring the offerings into the house of Yahweh, we have had enough to eat and have plenty left, for Yahweh has blessed his people, and this great amount is left over. And Chizkiyahu ordered them to prepare rooms in the house of Yahweh, and they prepared them. Then they brought in the contribution, and the tithes, and the set-apart gifts, trustworthily. And Conaniahu the Levite was leader over them, and Shimi his brother was the next. And Yehiel, and Azaziahu, and Nachath, and Asael, and Yerimoth, and Yozabad, and Eliel, and Yismachiahu, and Machath, and Benayahu were overseers, under the hand of Conaniahu and Shimi his brother, by order of Chizkiyahu the sovereign, and Azariahu the ruler of the house of Elohim. And Kure son of Yimna the Levite, the keeper of the east gate, was over the voluntary offerings to Elohim, to distribute the offerings of Yahweh, and the most set-apart gifts. And under his hand were Eden, and Minyamin, and Yeshua, and Shemayahu, and Amariahu, and Shechanyahu, in the cities of the priests, to distribute trustworthily to their brothers, by divisions, to the great as well as the small. Besides those males from 3 years old and up, who were written in the genealogy, they distributed to everyone who entered the house of Yahweh his daily portion for the work of his service, by his division, and to the priests who were written in the genealogy according to their father's house, and to the Levites from 20 years old upward, by their duties in their divisions, and to all listed in the genealogy, their little ones and their wives, their sons and daughters, all the company of them, for in their trustworthiness they set themselves apart in set-apartness. And for the sons of Aharon the priests, who were in the fields of the open land of their cities, in each and every city, there were men who were called by name to distribute portions to all the males among the priests, and to all who were listed by genealogies among the Levites. And Chizkiyahu did this in all Yehudah, and he did what was good, and what was right, and what was true before Yahweh his Elohim. And in every work that he began in the service of the house of Elohim, in the Torah and in the command, to seek his Elohim with all his heart, he did and prospered.